Okay, so our next topic will be stablecoins, the bridge to digital value. Let's welcome James Toh, Business Development Director at Coinstore.
Hello, everybody. We have a short video, so must wait for the animation. A bit like Golden Village. Okay, afternoon everybody. I'm James from Coinstore, BD Director there. A month ago, I was actually invited, or rather I was made known that I have to come here and do a presentation. So I was thinking about what kind of presentation should I be giving, what kind of topic, because there's a lot of experts here, which I think they will cover a lot more topics that I can say. So, but however, on the 7th of May, the Luna saga actually come about and the prices came all the way down to zero. I guess a lot of people has been wondering what happened. And also, for your information, it's actually a stable coin. So how can a stable coin actually drop all the way down to zero? My friend was asking me. So I thought that it may be a good topic to cover to allow the audience here to know the basics of stablecoin and the history and also the future. So I was wondering, I mean, when this actually came down to zero, I was thinking whether stablecoin has lost its trust and credibility. And I feel that, this one. Next, right? Yeah. So I was thinking about this. So I thought that we come up with this topic called stablecoins, the bridge to digital value. Okay, when we actually explain about stablecoin, we have to answer this question. We have to go back firstly to the birth of cryptocurrency. Bitcoin was created like as a medium of exchange generally over more than a decade ago. But however, there's a big problem. It was plagued by actually high price volatility and lack of price stability. A lot of times, the prices of Bitcoin can be affected by global, political, and economic factors. So, for example, in 2017, in Japan and Korea, actually, they wanted to ban crypto. And hence, the price came down from 20,000 in 2017 to around 3,500 in 2018. So, this kind of volatility will make it very difficult for actually businesses to conduct trading, or rather to exchange, to use Bitcoin as a mode of transfer or as a medium of exchange. So the world actually needs something that is more trustworthy, something that is more stable, with better predictability, and still process the benefit and efficiency of a cryptocurrency. So when I explained about stablecoin, I thought I might as well tell you the history of stablecoin. The first stablecoin is actually BitUSD, launched in 2014. However, after Bitfinex launched its USDT in July 2014, easily USDT became the most popular one. Okay, this graph actually shows the adoption of stablecoin. More importantly, I want to highlight the global demand for stablecoin has surged tremendously. Sorry, has surged greatly. And between October 2020 to 2021, the growth is roughly 495%. Recently, in 2022 Q1, it touches 180 billion mark. Okay, so we call this phenomenon stablecoin invasion. At the moment now, there's more than 200 active stablecoins in circulation. This came as a surprise to me because we always thought that stablecoin is like USDT, USDC. Those are the more popular ones, but there are a lot many others out in the market. So, I mean, choose wisely. I'm going to cover a few points about users and benefits. Because there's a lot of times people thought that USDT is just a mode of sending, but it serves quite a lot of purpose. Of course, at the same time, this is the most basic one, which is to minimize volatility, because for Bitcoin, it can swing up to 10%, up and down 10% per day, which is actually very unacceptable for businesses. Secondly, quite obviously is also to earn interest lah. I'm sure many of you here may know that for stablecoin, you can actually stake in a centralized exchange or even in many DeFi platform that interest can be 5 to 20% sometimes. Of course, also for potential everyday's use of currency. Firstly, it can be used for facilitating of overseas transaction. I don't know whether you guys know or not, currently there's more and more people transact using the stablecoin, mainly for making of payments, to send for school fees, or maybe to send to our loved ones, or even to purchase items. Even like, for example, vices like gambling, people use stablecoin as well. So there's a lot of different purpose for stablecoin nowadays. So more and more, we have noticed that it becomes like day-to-day commerce. You can even use a stablecoin. And one of the example is that you can also see that there's people start to use crypto cards in like for those Visa and Masters. The other one is to promote decentralized forex. Cryptocurrency is open, globally, and is digitally accessible over the internet for 24/7. You never see like people say that crypto will rest. There's no holiday. Even midnight, you want to send funds over. It's cheap, it's good, then it's fast as well. Okay, so that's why people adopt cryptocurrency as a form of forex. But to many of us here, you may be just thinking that I send funds to my friend, I lend money to my friend. It's simple as that. But actually, to many countries, especially for the third world countries, stablecoin, or rather cryptocurrency, is very important. I got a colleague that works in Nigeria. He told me that the businesses there can't survive if, let's say, without help from, like, let's say, sending of crypto or USDT or USDC. Reason being is because due to inefficiency, their bank transfer can take up to like 7-8 days, sometimes still never go through. And also at the same time, the cost can be as high as 10%. So if, let's say, you rely on such a network, banking network, to actually conduct business transaction, a lot of business may fail. So that's why it's huge in Africa. It's also huge in South America. In Coinstore, we have like staff over 70 all around the world. So I'm quite lucky to be able to speak to them, to find out from them. We even have staff working from in JP Morgan in Argentina that switched from JP Morgan to Coinstore, because he said everybody believes in cryptocurrency nowadays, yeah, due to the weakening of peso in Argentina. Just for information, 20 years ago, Argentina peso to US dollar is 1:1. Currently, it has depreciated by 100 times. 1:, I think, 0.01. So it's quite serious. Okay, the one more point is that it improves efficiency for P2P and recurring payment. I'm sure many of you here are self-employed, business owner, self-employed. So you guys will know that actually the admin kind of things, when you do make salary payment, is quite a headache. Because you have to go to banks, then the banks will have to process your payment, salary, and for those Singaporean, you will know that this is what the bank call standing orders. You have to do paperwork, costs as well, and things like that. Especially for those that actually you have a global business, you have staff all around the world, you have to make internet banking, overseas transfer. It's really a headache, and it's quite costly as well. But however, with the help of blockchain, with this smart contract, you can actually do recurring transaction. Recurring transaction means that within your smart contract, you can set that every month on the first, money will be transferred over. This can be self-executed by the blockchain themselves, as in the smart contract, you can set it. And so this is very helpful for international firms to facilitate recurring salary payment and very hassle-free. So it works like a bank standing order, but it's just cheaper, faster, and they don't take any off. So basically, it's very predictable. And another strength for using stablecoin as salary payment, using blockchain and smart contract is that I'm sure some Singaporeans here, when you are a business owner, you want to dig out transaction like 6 to 10 years ago or 20 years ago, the bank will tell you that they are unable to provide you the information because they keep the record for only 5 years. After 5 years, they will keep in the very secured place whereby you want to apply for the statement. Either they reject you or they will tell you to wait for a long time. But as you know, for blockchain, everything is permanent. You can just check back the record easily. Nothing will be deleted. So this is another very good example, or rather use case of stablecoin. Okay, I'll quickly cover a few types of category of stablecoin. Because there's actually more to just USDT and USDC. But of course, the most common one is this fiat pegged stablecoin. It's actually 1:1 ratio backed by reserve currency. At the moment now, USDT and USDC, they currently form 2/3 of the total stablecoin market share. So that's why you see most centralized exchange are using this as a pairing because they are the most common ones. But of course, there are also other popular ones. I just give you some example like the PEG dollars and Gemini dollars. Both of them, they are regulated by New York State Department of Financial Services. So they are actually considered audited and should be quite safe. There's also, for those Singaporeans here, XSGD stablecoin, 1:1 backed by SGD. They are issued by XFER, which is also licensed by Singapore government, MAS. So these are examples of more common fiat collateralized stablecoin. The second category of stablecoin is commodity-pegged stablecoin. Stablecoin have their value pegged to another value of commodity such as precious metal, gold and silver, oil, real estate. So these are all commodity-pegged stablecoin. It's not as common, but it's also coming up. We see more and more in our business recently as well. Example is DGX. This ticker for token is pegged to gold. Another one is SRC, is actually backed by a portfolio of Swiss real estate. Okay, so these are actually different types of stablecoin. The third type is actually a crypto collateralized stablecoin. Usually we consider this as riskier because the underlying collaterals is actually crypto itself. Although the crypto itself can be like a very strong crypto like Ethereum, but however, because of the volatility nature, we usually will require, or rather this kind of stablecoin will require more than 1:1. Example, just to protect from extreme price movement. A good example would be a DAI, the ETH-backed token. 100 worth of DAI will require underlying reserve of about 200 ETH lah. But it's very commonly used in the DeFi space for DAI. The last one, which is the topic of the town, which is this algorithmic stablecoin. Example of Luna is one such. The non-collateralized stablecoin, for this type of stablecoin, they do not have any collateral back to it. Then why do we call it stable? It's because they are tied to an algorithm, a mechanism that will automatically increase, will increase the supply of the coin if the demand of the coin increase. And if let's say, so that they reduce the price to a normal price and vice versa. So it works based on the factors of market demand and supply. Of course, just like cryptocurrency as a whole, NFT as a whole, or any new technology, there's always dApps, okay? So I'm going to share some of the major dApps of stablecoin. First of all will always be the counterparty risk. We all claim that stablecoin are pegged by commodities, by reserve. But however, one very important thing is I haven't found something that is actually fully audited so far. Okay, and like for example, sorry, I just go back to that previous one. For example, Tether was fined 41 million because in 2016 to 2019, CFTC found that they do not have adequate reserve, so that's why they got fined. Even the trusted ones like USDC and Gemini, up to date, there's no record of a complete full audit but I still think that they are okay because I'll justify. I mean, I will share more in the points later. Another part is lower liquidity concerns. This is more relevant to commodity-pegged stablecoin because you know commodity are rare in nature. Example, gold. You can never have enough to satisfy the endless requirement as a reserve for the stablecoin market. So this is a risk itself. So if you are going for commodity-pegged stablecoin, then be careful about this. Another thing, of course, is the lack of awareness and that leads to a lower adoption rate. Currently, the total, the population globally that adopt crypto is still considered minority. A lot of people choose to sit on the fence. So even if, let's say, stablecoin or cryptocurrency has their advantage, it will take a lot of time for new generation, or rather for the old generation to adopt it. This is always a big problem here from government because government is always will always be concerned due to AML reason. People are abusing the ease of a transfer and the checks and things like this. And also at the same time, there will be fear from the government that one day the fiat currency may lose control or rather lose its value or the use case. So if you find that the government are always trying to control this stablecoin or rather cryptocurrency, so this is actually the main reason. So the impact on digital yuan is something I want to especially highlight. There are many countries, or rather even for Europe, they are coming out with digital currency, which I think one of the guest speakers will also be covering tomorrow. For China, they have banned cryptocurrency. One of the main stablecoin that Chinese love to use is USDT. This is their favorite. But however, in terms of clamping down on stablecoin, due to the introduction of digital yuan, may result in panic selling of USDT. If let's say there's a market crash, worldwide crypto market may be affected as well. So, but however, in January this year, 2022, China launched their pilot project for digital yuan. It doesn't have much impact on Tether yet. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay, there's so many doubts of stablecoin, but is there any? Does it mean that stablecoin is losing its value, or rather the role or trust of the public? I don't have an answer for this, but however, I can only prove by showing some pointers to show that it's still widely adopted, and there may be just some case to that. Like for example, USDC is listed on Coinbase. And you know that Coinbase is actually listed in New York Stock Exchange. There will be very full and or rather very careful auditing and due diligence done on this USDC. So this is one justification. Another thing is that we notice that there's more and more adoption of stablecoin by financial institutions and also banking companies around the world. Like even for the recent CoinDesk Consensus 2022, Fed Vice Chairman say that we should be saying yes to stablecoin. There's a strong people support, and also Circle, which is also a stablecoin issuer. They have added Signature Bank, which is a US bank, as a banking partner. So there's more cross collaboration between the authorities and also the stablecoins. is actually giving us some kind of belief that stablecoin can move towards more mainstream in the future. Okay, so in my closing address, anyway, this is my LinkedIn QR code, just in case. For my closing address, I would like to say that there's a lot of advice given online, but always do your own research and also be prudent because certain things are very complicated. Like, for example, the Luna case, it doesn't take, it will be quite difficult for lay people to understand. You may understand the concept, but it takes someone that knows coding to be able to see whether will this work or not. So basically, I urge everyone, if let's say you are not very sure, don't go for something that is very complicated and putting in all your funds. So nothing online is financial advice, please take note. And if you are asking me whether stablecoin will be safe, should I put in 50% of my savings inside? I will always recommend that if you don't know, then don't try to be clever. Just when you're not using the stablecoin, or rather not trading, just change back to fiat and then keep them. Money in the pocket, or rather money in the bank, is always safer than on the on somewhere else, some people's wallet or some custody wallet. That's what I'm taught. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Yeah.